Hello and welcome to Passing Time, the internet podcast for pauseandselect.com. I'm your host, Alec Kubismeyer. Joining me this week is Brian Kale.
I love how every week the intro gets longer and longer. Now we're an internet podcast. What's up?
And Joe Yang.
Hey guys, how's it going?
That long pause will be edited. You know that, right? I know you did it for comedic effect, but I'm... Alright, what's up? How's it going?
Good times, good times. I actually played video games this week for the first time in years.
You did. It wasn't Mortal Kombat X, was it?
I mean, aside from Mortal Kombat X, I played Geometry Dash on my phone.
Is that like Geometry Wars?
No, it is nothing like Geometry Wars. It's actually kind of like Bit Trip Runner. It's like a musically timed platformer with like Flappy Bird sections.
Is it free?
There's a free version. I actually paid for it. The reason I paid for it was because the second level had such a brilliant design in it. So what happens is, you're basically a block and you tap the screen. It's an endless runner, so you tap the screen and it makes you jump.
Yeah.
So, you go through the entire first level. It's all pretty straightforward. The second level introduces these, like, glowing tiles, and if you hit a glowing tile, it launches you in the air higher than you jump. Right at the start of the level, you hit one of those, it launches you up. And then soon afterwards, you hit another one and it launches you up. And then there are 3 of them in a row underneath a bed of spikes. And what you have to do is you have to jump over the tile, to not die. As I was thinking about it, it's like, I've told you before that my belief is that truly amazing, perfect game design is, design that if you had never played the game before, you could get through it on your first try if you were good enough and like you were paying attention. Things don't just fuck you over because they don't explain them.
I should stop you there because good enough is a subjective definition.
No,
so
I mean, like, if you had like excellent reflexes, if you had whatever, I mean, like, the game gives you everything you need to know. It doesn't like hide shit from you. And that's what I mean. Like, it can't be a cheap death where you couldn't have seen it coming. If everything is a 3-hit kill and then you have full life and suddenly it's a 1-hit kill, that's bullshit and there's nothing you could have done. Like, there's no way you could have known to avoid it unless you died.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that statement.
Right. And so what this was is by having it happen twice, it put it in your mind that, oh, okay, this is what this does. And you see it, and it's like, oh, I have to now jump 3 times. And it was like the fact that it came when it did, I just spent 15 minutes just thinking about how cool the placement of those tiles was and, what that meant in the broader game design. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. These guys deserve my $2.
I believe, but don't quote me, that's called intuitive game design, where
I mean, that would make sense.
Teaching you it through mechanics.
Yeah.
I always enjoy games that teach you. Like Portal is a good one. Joe, what have you been playing this week, since we're on the topic of Joe? Joe, what games
What's
did you
going
play
on
this week?
Oh, I knew I played video games. I don't remember what video games I played.
It's a weird time of the year where that's the case for everybody except for Al.
I've been playing...
Oh, I played That Dragon Cancer.
What have I been playing?
You told us about that last week, Alec.
No, I hadn't played it last week.
Oh, well...
Wait, is that game about dragons or about cancer?
It's about cancer. No, I played it on Saturday. I saw a movie about it the week before.
Ah.
Forgot about that. That happened.
That happened. Joe?
Cool.
What video games have you played?
I just finished up Sorcery 3 by Steve Jackson, and I have been playing some Pokemon, and I have been oh shit, there's one more game. Don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I've been watching Netflix and playing DEF CON by myself.
Is DEF CON that one that's just like a screen and then you blow shit up and it's like 1 million people just died?
Yep. I've just been watching older episodes of The Office and playing DEF CON by myself. It's very cathartic. Back to you, Brian.
That sounds riveting. It's been a weird week for me. I've been playing Crossy Roads. I just got into Tap Titans on my phone. which is one of those idle games that you've been hearing so much about, are all the rage right now. Winka winka. A Dota, and that's pretty much it. This is the weird in-between time before summer and after Bloodborne. And there's nothing to look forward to in summer either? I mean, I guess The Witcher comes out in 3 weeks. I guess I'll get it.
I technically own 2 copies of that game, which is sort of weird.
The Witcher?
Yeah.
Because I will gladly take one off your hands.
Well, so what happened was, and this is actually really sort of creepy, and I don't understand why it happened. So I bought a new graphics card, and the new graphics card I got came with, I just got a copy of The Witcher that had nothing to do with... What? Yeah, The Witcher 3. It had nothing to do with why I got it, but that is a thing that came with it. I bought it, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll get an email about it. Next day, or maybe 2 days later, I go into work. Like, I bought this card, on my girlfriend's Amazon account, because we share an Amazon account. Whatever, not the point. Point is, my name wasn't really attached to it. 2 days later, I get an email to my B&H internal email from someone else who works at B&H, and was like, "Hi, Alec, here's your Witcher 3 code." And I was just like, what the actual fuck?
Do you already have it? You can already play it?
I doubt it, but I got a Steam key. But the point is, they took the fact that I bought this thing on Amazon through someone else's account. Apparently, somehow, someone talked to someone.
What do you mean apparently? Amazon knows that.
Yeah, but Amazon's not talking to the fucking buyers at B&H.
Isn't the internet an amazing thing? Privacy is an illusion. Isn't it great?
Yeah, but that was the first time where I've actually
experienced
felt like Big Brother. You see cookies, but there's no logical way those two things are connected. And so I'm almost wondering if it was just some weird fluke thing, because I then got a separate email from Amazon with the code, but based on the timing, there's no other reason why. It was a very weird time.
So it could just be a coincidence.
It could be, but why would they have given me a free copy of The Witcher 3?
I don't know.
Maybe
wouldn't. A spooky ghost did it.
Unless something went weird in their system, because I also put the graphics card in my cart at B&H. I ended up buying it through Amazon because I had a gift card. If something went weird in their system, that email address isn't even through my B&H. No, there is no reason that they would have sent that email to me at B&H.
Big Brother.
Yeah. It's kind of terrifying.
I am not that scared by it. I've been saying for years, I remember going to college and debate classes, being from the South, everyone would be arguing against Big Brother because of the federal government. And I was like, well, I don't know why you're so worried about the government. You're all on Facebook. You all use Google. That's the Big Brother you need to be worrying about.
Right, but there's a difference between that and something you buy somehow coming back to you at work. That's a different level of fucking creepy.
I would hope that is a happy coincidence.
Yeah. Because if, I'm hoping that those two things aren't related. Because if they are, that's straight up insidious.
Are they both for your PC?
Yes.
Damn it. I don't know if my PC can do The Witcher.
No, but it was just this really fucking weird moment, and I have no idea what it was.
It's actually not that strange. Probably heard of the story where the girl has been shopping at Walmart, I believe, and then a different store down the road started sending her coupons based upon her purchasing habits for...
But that would be if she bought something from Walmart and then her manager at Target gave her something for that.
The companies found out that she was pregnant before anybody else did.
I've seen that where...
Yeah, they base you're buying Prego things, which means you're pregnant, stuff like that.
I love Prego, it's delicious.
Well, there is all sort of analytical data that shows that Facebook knows when people are about to start dating. Facebook knows who's cheating on who. And then, John Oliver just had that expose. Everyone's seen your dick.
Yeah.
So...
There was a really interesting thing that Facebook is given like 50 or 60 likes, Facebook will know if you will or will not like something better than everybody except like your significant other. You know, it'll know you better than your best friend. It'll know you better than your parents, your siblings, whatever. You know, it is more accurate than everybody except your significant other. And it doesn't even it only needs a couple dozen likes, you know, to get to that point.
Well, the last
crazy.
election they used statistics to figure out who everyone was going to vote for before they voted. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but you're predictable in the most obvious ways to the computers. A computer can look at all your shit and realize everything about you probably really fast.
I mean, probably. I mean, I don't hide that much.
No, it's the royal you, not Alec. It's the royal.
He's singling you out, Alec.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you know, Alec, have sort of, you know, I gave up on anonymity a long time ago. There is no anonymity. You type it, Kubitschmeyer, into Google, and you're going to find me.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens.
You know, privacy is a myth. The faster everyone else gets on board that,
Yeah.
the faster we can move on. So yeah, it's a weird time between Bloodborne and other games this year, but then I can't even think about other games this year I want to play.
Splatoon.
Yeah, I don't have a Wii U.
Splatoon.
Well, I'm just waiting until Persona 5.
Yeah,
And
Persona
I'm just going to
5
shut
is
down
this year.
Pawns and Select because nobody will ever see me ever again. Goodbye.
Disgaea 5 is also this year. So
When's Persona 5 coming out?
Christmas.
I have no idea.
Christmas.
It just says it was originally supposed to be released for 2014 because the original teaser had a 2014 release date for the PS3 and PS4.
Uh-huh.
But then it got bumped to 2015 on the updated trailer. So we are looking at sometime during this year.
And it's a PS4 exclusive, right?
No, it's actually on the PS3 and the PS4.
Oh, I was under the impression it was only on the 4.
Well, it's going to be on the PS3 and the PS4, but I'm assuming they're probably going to, based upon the trailer, there does seem to be a lot of additional CPU-intensive stuff, like a ton of sort of like background animation and
I mean, it was
NPC
very
tracking.
pretty. The trailer looked very pretty.
Yeah. So I'm assuming they're showcasing PS4 stuff, and the PS3 is probably going to be like Dragon Age Inquisition for the 360 and PS3, where a lot of the features were sort of gimped because the consoles didn't have as good of a processor as well as internals for dealing with those sort of games.
That makes
I
sense.
should probably go back and play Inquisition.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Persona. I got like,
No,
I
have
think I
Persona.
played
hate
about
Persona.
60 hours of Persona 3. I never finished it. I was in like the last month or something. Like I was almost there, but then like life got in the way or something, and there were like several months where I didn't play, and then I came back and was like, what the fuck does Bufu mean? and it's an ice attack, but like, you know, I didn't remember how to fight any of the enemies, and once you're that far into the game, you need to know immediately who is susceptible to what, or you're going to die. I wasn't about to relearn the entire game, you know, when I'm like 4/5 of the way through, so I just kind of gave up. And
Nah, that's okay, because all you got to do is just have Alice, and then you have to fuse Alice so that she can learn Mudo Boost, and then you just spam die for me, and you've got like a 70% chance to kill everyone. Unless they have a Mudo Reflect, then no, you're kind of fucked.
Alec, I want you to know that my friends and I, we have a term for doing that to a video game called Xenogearing a game. Xenogears is a RPG from the 90s
of course.
that is like 120 hours long. And there's a part in the game called the Tower of Babel, which is like a 3-hour-long dungeon with no save point. So if you die at the end, you have to start the whole dungeon over again. It's kind of where everyone in my group of friends got to, and we died and just stopped playing the game altogether.
Yeah.
That actually sounds a lot like Persona.
Yeah. It's applicable to Persona because it happened to me with Persona 3. I beat Persona 4. It usually only ever happens with JRPG.
Only RPGs are that long, and only JRPGs fuck you over for extended periods of time. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you can usually save whenever, wherever in Western RPGs, but like a Japanese RPG will do that, where you'll spend like a long time and you can't fucking do anything.
Yeah. Since there's no games coming out this year, Polygon ran a really interesting article. It was an expose on Alan Wake 2. I know Alec has not seen it. Joe, did you check it out?
No, is it like Twin Peaks?
No.
Then I'm not interested.
Apparently Remedy made an in-house 20-minute long demo, a very nice looking demo of Alan Wake 2 for the PlayStation 3, and it's running on, it looks like as good as The Last of Us does, like the way the world looks and the way the characters move. And I guess a lot of this demo became American Nightmare, which was a cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
It was really interesting. On Monday, Polygon ran this long, like 3,000 plus word article with two 30-minute videos. One was a demo, and then one was an interview with Remedy about this game. And I thought to myself, maybe they're hyping up for new Alan Wake. And then Forbes picked up on that, and Forbes is running that, yes, in fact, Polygon and Remedy are hyping up for an Alan Wake 2.
I wonder what that means for Quantum Break.
Well, Quantum Break, so the article on Polygon actually talks about Quantum Break, the lessons they learned in Quantum Break, but they didn't say in the article that they're making a new Alan Wake. They talked mostly about Quantum Break.
Okay.
But you don't do that unless you're gauging interest for a next-gen Alan Wake game.
Yeah, there'd be purposes, especially because it's not like Quantum Break is coming out next month.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. The timing makes no sense.
Yeah. I believe the Forbes article even suspects that there will be an E3 announcement for Alan Wake 2 on the PlayStation 4.
That would be super interesting because it does, because I feel like that means something if Remedy decides to not work with Microsoft.
You should read the articles, both of them. I linked them in the doc. If I remember, I'll put them in the links below for the podcast. I would definitely, if anything, check out the demo because it looks fantastic. It looks like Alan Wake 2 should look. You know, they take all of the concepts of Alan Wake 1 and just evolve them. Like, enemies are interacting with the environment.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. And I know you're a big Alan Wake fan.
Yeah.
Joe, did you like Alan Wake?
No, I never played Alan Wake.
Dude, you
I
should.
recommend it.
It's like $3 on PC every so often.
Yeah, I picked it up on a Steam sale 2 years ago and played it and loved it, mostly because of the videos, the movies of that.
Yeah.
And who's the best? Mr. Stitch? Mr. Stitches, I believe. I can't remember.
The whole the world inside of it is really fascinating.
Is there a romantic subplot?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, he's trying to get his wife
You're not
back.
selling me on this.
His wife gets kidnapped by his shadow clone named Mr. Stitches. I guess in this world, light and dark interact as two positive and negative forces. And
No, Mr. Stitches, that's American Nightmare. That's not in the main game, is it?
Okay, well, I don't know about that, but Mr. Stitches is in this demo.
Okay, yeah, no, he's American Nightmare. He's not in the main game.
Wasn't he in the videos? Like, wasn't he the person narrating? I don't know.
It might be. I don't know.
But yeah, so
It's
Mr.
been a while.
I'd recommend everyone check it out, especially if you like Alan Wake. It was a great article, but the video of the demo itself is the best part.
I mean, the thing that's so cool about Alan Wake is that Alan Wake was originally designed to be an open world game. Like, all of the levels were designed with that in mind. All of these worlds were totally designed, whereas usually in a linear game of that sort, the level ends and then there's a texture or something. But the camera is able to do these crazy flyovers and shit because Remedy developed this world and then didn't actually make the game that utilized it. They made something linear within it, but it has the effect of an open world but in a condensed space, which gives it sort of a unique feel. I can't think of any other games that do that sort of flying vista thing in quite the same way.
This Alan Wake demo that they showed off also has that, where it's this big panning, because that's one of the things you remember from Alan Wake is the pan of the camera. They did a very good job. Remedy also made Max Payne, right? I love the Max Payne games.
Yeah, the first two Max Payne games were them, and then they did Alan Wake.
I did not like Rockstar's. I mean, it was okay, but I wanted the old Max Payne.
Right.
Which is kind of why I dug Alan Wake, because it was like the spiritual successor to Max Payne 2. Not lore narrative-wise, but gameplay and presentation.
I'm really curious what Quantum Break's going to be like, because it just, it doesn't look awesome.
No, yeah, and that's a Microsoft exclusive, right?
Yes, it is, because it's like half TV show. That's the thing where I'm like really curious because it's like,
And
it's the game, and then it's got like the live action TV component, and then it's back to the game, and I just can't imagine it's going to
that
be
was
good.
just in the news as well. So that's all up in the air because Microsoft is kind of like kiboshing a lot of their studio stuff. So
Yeah, but I think this was like sort of separate, although
yeah.
maybe it wasn't. Maybe they killed the TV show entirely.
You could be right that Remedy is hedging their bets and getting hype with Polygon to hype up Alan Wake 2. Which, let's face it, that's what game journalists are, is hype machines. Nothing wrong with that, just don't fool yourselves. Because E3 is only 2 months away now. There's a lot of hype starting for E3. This Alan Wake thing, Bethesda is booking a conference at E3 for the first time I think ever Bethesda's doing one. So that's exciting. And everyone, is
That's
going to
pretty
say
intense.
Fallout 4, I guess Dishonored 2, stuff like that. So hopefully these games will actually come out because everything's been getting pushed back or, I don't know, studios closing and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think this E3 in general. This was true last year, but it's also true this year that Microsoft has a lot more to prove than I think Sony does.
Well, Sony definitely hit it out of the park the first two, like that E3 where they completely decimated Microsoft.
That
And
was
then,
amazing.
yes, that was crazy. The PlayStation had that huge hype, and then I think they also had another, like, was it last year the one they had all the indie games? Because the indie games on PlayStation 4 have been great. I can't
No,
speak.
I would think that was the 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because last year Nintendo kind of won E3.
Well, I don't want to
Um,
get into who won and who lost because that's so. In terms
I
of
agree because Nintendo won.
Nintendo had a great press conference last year, but now we're a year later and they haven't really done anything with that. Like they still have not. Was last year
They
when
released
they announced
Captain Toad.
Spelunky? Was that last year E3?
Splatoon, you mean?
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Splatoon.
What last year's E3 was for all three of the companies was look how amazing 2015 is going to be.
And
Like
so far,
just
it's been good.
across the board. And so we're still waiting.
Then you know what this E3 is going to be? Is look how awesome 2016 is going to be. Last year was look how great 2015 is going to be, and so far we've only announced there's The Witcher, couple games this year. So this year's E3 is going to be look how awesome 2016 is going to be. When are the games going to come out? When are these games
I mean,
coming
Splatoon's coming out. Theoretically, Yoshi is. I mean, Zelda's not coming this year. Who fucking knows
out?
what
Who?
Mario Maker better come this year? I mean, that's just going to be the game
They
to
talked
end all
about Mario
games.
Maker at the Nintendo Direct. It's coming this year. They said it. Did
Good.
they say November?
I don't know. I mean, that game, I played that last year. Like, that game should be out. There is no excuse for that game not being out right now.
Maybe they're
Like,
taking this time to make all the DLC and put it on the
like
disc.
I can't.
I love
They,
that part of video games.
they're Nintendo. They don't do that.
Kidding, I was kidding.
Yeah, no, but like, I have no fucking clue why it's taking them. Because when I played it, it was a fully fucking functional game.
Well, so here, with all the news about Nintendo lately, they are apparently a company in flux. There's the news of Nintendo Next, or the Nintendo Next is what they're just the code name for the system. And now they're moving to mobile. Not moving, but they're opening up to mobile. Maybe they're backing away from the Wii U. I mean, it's 2015. 2017 is only 2 years away. Maybe they're
Backing away in the sense that, I think they'll have 2 more years of good games, and then they'll drop
what?
it like they every
They'll
other
have
console.
Zelda maybe next year. Will they have a Mario on the Wii U?
They already did. They had Super
No,
Mario
they
3D
didn't.
World.
They had. Well, they have a Mario, a 3D Mario, a real Mario.
Dude, Super Mario 3D World is like the best game
I
ever
know
made.
it's a great game. I've played it, but we need the next Galaxy, not Galaxy 3, but we
It was
need the
by the
next.
team that did Galaxy, though. Like, that's why it's so good. The Galaxy team made uh, Super Mario 3D World and then made Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I'm sure they're working on something else, and I mean, if we have 2 more years of the Wii U, they'll have enough time to make a game.
Hopefully, there's a Metroid. Hopefully, there's
Yeah, I mean,
something.
I would love for Nintendo to do their E3 digital event, because they probably won't do a press conference again. Do another digital event and announce another new fucking IP. Like, that is what I would love for Nintendo to do.
I agree. Nintendo, like, we all love their old games, and I just said I wanted a Metroid and stuff. Nintendo needs to start with new IPs. They need to come out. I don't know what. What's his face is old.
You know, they fucking are doing a weird shooter game with squids. Like, they're Nintendo. They'll do whatever the fuck they want. Like,
yeah.
And apparently Splatoon was originally supposed to be like a Mario game. Like, it was Mario branded, and then someone was like, how about squids?
Yeah, Morimoto was like, Mario this and that. And
I'm glad that, you know, someone was like, hey, how about squids? Because that bodes well, you know, both because a new IP is just a good thing, but also because that means that, like, someone got the balls to say, hey, how about we don't do Mario again?
Yeah.
Which is, I think, something that hasn't happened.
Do you know what would be incredibly interesting?
What?
Is if Kojima went to Nintendo.
Dude, that would be fucking crazy.
He has a history with them, and specifically with Morimoto. Or Miyamoto?
Mm-hmm.
Miyamoto, sorry. Morimoto is the Iron Chef. He has a history there. Not necessarily because I guess he literally does not want to make Metal Gears. He wants to make something else. I don't think he's going to leave Japan. Nintendo.
You know what would be so cool? If he went to Platinum and then Nintendo acquired Platinum.
Why Platinum?
Because I want Nintendo to own Platinum games.
Their catalog.
Bayonetta.
Oh yeah, okay. Wait. For some reason I thought Nintendo already owned them then.
No, they don't. Like, they did several games exclusively with Nintendo, but then they're also working on Scalebound, which is an Xbox One exclusive. And then I feel like they're doing something else that's PS4 related, but I might be wrong about that. I think Nintendo having Platinum under their belt would just be so fucking cool. Because, like, Bayonetta 2, I have problems with that game.
Oh, they're making a game for Xbox One exclusive.
Yes, come out.
Yeah.
You know, they announced that at E3 last year. They just showed a CG trailer, which just had people fighting dragons. If I had to guess, that game is going to be basically a fucking insane version of Shadow of the Colossus without all the meaning behind it.
As Microsoft is apt to do. Speaking of Shadow of the Colossus, do you think this will be the year we finally hear what that studio is making?
No.
It's not going to be...
The Last Guardian will never come out.
It's not going to be the never-ending story. No, The Last Guardian will never come out. I don't want it to come out now, because now it's the White Buffalo. I want something else.
I think The Last Guardian should be boxed with Half-Life 3.
Which is also
hilarious. Like,
did you hear that quote from Gabe about Half-Life 3? So Gabe did like some AMA like 2 weeks ago, and someone asked about Half-Life 3, and Gabe said, well, "We here at Valve are currently enjoying these online multiplayer games like Dota and Team Fortress, and I guess they're maybe developing another game which is inferred to be possibly Team Fortress 3."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Well, not currently." We're looking at it, but right now all of our fan base says they want more games like Dota, so we're focusing on Dota. And basically said it's not in our best interest to make Half-Life 3. We'll lose money on it, so we're not going to do it.
Nice.
So, good for Valve.
Like, imagine if they released The Last Guardian and Half-Life 3 in a 2-pack. You could not buy them separately, and even though they're for totally different platforms, like, you just had to buy
for the
both.
Ouya.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
That'd be hilarious.
I actually played a game on an Ouya, sort of. And by sort of, I mean, no, I actually just did do that. That happened. Because when I played that Dragon Cancer, it was like a Tribeca thing. Oh, I spent a bunch of time in VR also, which was interesting. My experiences in VR are getting less and less impressive.
Yes.
But the problem is, the only time I've ever interacted in VR was the first time I did it. The two since have been static experiences, which are way fucking less interesting.
Yeah. I played Crysis 3 in VR.
Did you?
Yeah, at PepCon, like, over the summer last year.
Really?
It was like a Crysis 3 demo, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, because
impressive.
Yeah, when I went to Capcom, they just had like you had basic motion. You could like move your head, and there were like bullets flying everywhere. And like out of reflex, I was like dodging bullets and shit, and that was cool. But like the first time I did it, I was playing, like I was interacting. I had like two move controllers, and I was like punching shit.
Oh, I had controller. I don't know if Xbox controller, whatever. And they had like Crisis 3. It wasn't like it wasn't a shooting part. It was a stealth part, move around and explore this world. And then they did have a space game. I want to say it was Valkyrie, where you did shoot, and it was like space dogfighting, and that was interesting and fun. Except by that time, my eyes started to hurt, so I took the headset off.
Yeah, I mean, I just need another experience with VR where I have a controller in my hand.
Well, E3 this year could be a big VR year. So, Age of Ultron is upon us, and sites have already started releasing their trailers, and they've been met at best, I believe is what Alex said.
Yeah. It's
Verge. I read The Verge's review.
Across the board, as far as I can tell.
Joe, are you a fan of Joss Whedon?
Is that the question you're asking me?
That is the question. Are you a fan of the one?
My answer is no.
Yeah, I'm not that big of a fan of Joss Whedon either. Alec?
I haven't seen most of the things he's done. He's things I've seen I've been fine with. I'm not like madly in love with him either. So
yeah. As we were loading up, I said, just writing witty dialogue and characters does not make you a good screenwriter or director. He can direct. I just don't think it's very interesting. I thought The Avengers was cool when I first saw it. And I walked out and said, yeah, that was cool, B+, B. And then I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, which is directed by Tim Gunn, and I was blown away. And Captain America, Civil War, whatever the Captain America Winter Soldier is equally as impressive. I feel like Joss Whedon is kind of like Jon Favreau. The only reason he's a famous good director is because he's doing this famous IP. But once someone new takes on the same material, it evolves, which is what Marvel happened to Marvel's post Avengers.
Right.
Both The Verge and you said The Daily Beast, both have said that they feel that this movie is a recession back to an older style Marvel movie.
Yeah, I'm sort of conflicted on that on some level because I don't have an inherent problem with some movies, removing the emotional edge. It just sounds like this sequel is more rehash than
innovation.
If you're going to sort of take that emotional step back and be something, I guess less, that might be like an arguable point, but let's just go with that word. If you're going to be less, you need to make up for it in other ways, and being the movie that you already were and just sort of following down that path, it's really, really difficult, to pull that off. It's pretty clear that they have to play it pretty safe in order to just like make sure that this massive cinematic universe can continue to exist. So these movies that have all of them in it have to do X, Y, and Z, and it just makes it, I don't know, makes it difficult to really do something.
Well, that's what The Verge said, is they felt that this movie was very safe. And it also, I think it's been inferred that, so late last year, Marvel announced the timeline for the next 10 years of their movies. And the only oddball thing, the only thing that does not belong is the Avengers Age of Ultron. It is kind of the only film that does not build into this larger timeline. I kind of feel like the timeline was just in its primordial phase during the filming of the first Avengers. And it was such a big hit that they said, fuck it, pen a script, we got to get Avengers 2 out, and they didn't really think about it. So now it's 2015. They have this huge, big plan, which started with Winter Soldier and is going into all the way up past Thanos and all that shit. And it's like Avengers is just, this movie is like, they tag in the overarching plot, but for the most part, it just is like filler.
Although apparently the post-credits sequence has Spider-Man in it.
Well, they already announced that he'd be in this, but I guess spoiler alert. So
whatever. It was a headline on a website I saw, which makes it not a spoiler.
Yeah, it's true.
If I haven't seen it, it doesn't count as a spoiler because it's not necessarily true.
Yeah. I'm not gonna see Avengers Week 1 because I knew that this film would be exactly what the reviews are saying. Not because I'm
Yeah.
an omnipotent god, but because it just is what it is.
Yeah, I'll probably see it eventually.
Yeah. You want to see it in
And
theaters because these films are made for theaters.
right, yeah. I mean, I'll probably see it like some Saturday matinee because if you see a movie in New York before noon, it's like $4 cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I did for John Wick, and I'll just watch it when it comes up on iTunes while I'm on the shitter.
You know what I did with
That's
John
usually
Wick?
what I do. I'm very excited.
John
Pardon?
Wick, I bought a bootleg off some dude at the pizza shop by my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I live in Brooklyn, man. There's bootleggers everywhere.
It's
You want a
true.
bike? They'll get you a bike.
I mean, a bootleg bike's a
Okay.
little bit different than a bootleg copy of John Wick.
Marvel is this whole big direction, and then there's the news out on Game Sutra about China will overtake the United States as the biggest gaming market in the world at $22.2 billion. Now the global market is 91.5, and it should be said that the United States market is 22 billion flat. But this kind of links to Hollywood. Alec mentioned it in the pre-conversation before we started the podcast, that Hollywood is pandering to China. Do you think video games will pander to China now that China is the dominant market for video games?
Yeah, no, I mean, abso-fucking-lutely they will. And we'll see, not necessarily actually a GTA, but we're going to see, like, the Chinese equivalent of a GTA or, like,
Well, they already had. What was that knockoff GTA from
Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs was a great game. That was a
Right,
great.
but that's something else.
That
And
was better than the new GTA.
Yeah, but that
I don't know. That was more like Hong Kong or Macau than China.
yeah, it was Hong Kong, and that's like, I don't know that there have been any games that were just straight up set in China.
Dynasty Warriors.
All
Yes, right.
12 of them.
How could I forget that Dynasty Warriors is
A literary
Chinese-
masterpiece.
Oh wait, no. Deus Ex is set in Japan, right?
Yeah, I think
No,
pretty
Deus
much.
Ex, he goes to China and Japan. He goes to China in the new Deus Ex game.
Well, that was definitely because the Chinese audience. I mean, that's fucking why they went to China in Transformers, and I'm pretty sure Iron Man 3 had like an exclusive sequence that was shot in China for the Chinese audience. I mean, that's actually what's more likely to happen, more than like, games will pander, is that there will start being China exclusive DLC.
On that note, EA is actually making exclusive games for China specifically. They're getting Chinese Call of Duty, and I think there's some Chinese sports game is coming out from EA, and it's only in China. I think it's called EA Online or Call of Duty Online, and it's Chinese only.
You mean Activision? Because EA doesn't
Oh
own.
fuck, Activision. Who cares?
Okay.
They're both the same shitty company that makes the same shitty generic game. Activision
Oh man,
is
there's a
making-
Chinese Call of Duty.
Yes, there's a Chinese Call of Duty. Activision.
Oh, I can't wait until I get to gun down some Uyghurs.
No,
It's gonna be very exciting. It's gonna be like, oh no, watch out! President Hu Jintao's great grandson has been kidnapped by evil members of Falun Gong, and you'll be like, don't worry, I'll save him. But it's all gonna be in Chinese. It's gonna be so cool.
I'm pretty sure it's an online-only game. I vaguely remember hearing about that when they announced it a while back.
What? So the
But I-
PRC can track me? Good on them. That's how
Also,
you keep down dissidents.
this is good news for Microsoft, as I believe that they have exclusive rights to China right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting conceptually, and I actually kind of like the idea of like territory-specific DLC. I don't know that "like" is the right word, but I find it a conceptually compelling idea, because I mean, imagine if they took that to GTA gets an expansion pack in China, and then an expansion pack in Germany, and then an expansion pack in whatever. But if they had teams from the various countries give their spin on it. So what would GTA look like if it was developed in Germany for Germans? What would it look like in China developed for Chinese people or whatever. Like they
that
took
that would be very interesting. I would
Right?
almost want to play it too.
yeah.
Because every
That-
culture has their own. It's not cultural identity.
Are
it's-
you talking about nuance?
Yes, yes. Let's go. Every culture has their own nuances that it would be interesting to see. Also, I should point out that there is a new game called Assassin's Creed Chronicles set in China. Boom! The
Called it.
Illuminati conspiracy is upon us.
Well, that's kind of a leap. I don't know about that.
They are no longer running Hollywood.
Get
they
it?
are running the
Did you
Chinese.
get it?
So yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. Joe, what did you learn today?
What?
Exactly. Alec, what did you learn today?
I learned that
Good. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Everyone should watch iZombie. So good.
Oh, iZombie is excellent. I completely second that. We should have a whole podcast talking about iZombie.
Dude, I'm in.
Watch iZombie. Watch the Alan Wake thing at Polygon.
Fuck yeah, guys.
Fuck yeah. Good night.
We did it.
Joe, where's your goodbye? You do it every podcast. Say it.
Hey guys, how's it going?
No, goodbye.
Do you mind if I smoke?
It won't affect the test.